Hey boy, how's it going? Toto! I found you! Hello everyone, Code on Bite here, and today I am Dorothy, Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I got a new skin and everything. And I even went to the snow biome where we spawned, and managed to find a wolf, and I tamed him. So yeah, I just figured can't be Dorothy without a little Toto, right? So you might be wondering, why all the Wizard of Oz stuff? Well, if you recall, Mrs. Gulch lives next door in that witch hut. And so I figured, you know what, I think it's time to set up a witch farm, because Mrs. Gulch tried to kill this precious little Toto. And we're going to get revenge. We're not just going to kill her, Toto. We are going to farm her and steal all her redstone and glowstone. And her gunpowder and glass bottles, too. Mwahahaha! Alright, Toto, come on. Okay, so as you can see, we are at Mrs. Gulch's house. And let's see if she's home. Ooh. She's not. Perfect. Alright, Toto. She tried to kill you. We're not going to stand for it. It's time to show her what's what. So, yeah. We're not just going to kill her, buddy. No. We are going to farm her. Mwahaha. Basically, whenever the game creates a witch hut, it also creates a region in Minecraftia where only witches can spawn. And the region, I believe, and I'm going to be checking off camera, but I believe that it goes from like here. It includes the entire area under the roof, plus coming out to this little deck here, and it goes from the top of this block. So in other words, witches could spawn on top of these stone brick blocks. And it goes all the way down to this level here. I believe, I may be wrong. So in this whole region here, and I'll just outline it, only witches can spawn. Creepers can't spawn, zombies can't spawn, skeletons can't spawn, but witches can spawn in here, and only witches. And the reason we care is because witches drop, among other things, redstone and glowstone dust when they die. So we definitely care. We want them. Mrs. Gulch has all this redstone and glowstone. She's the wealthiest woman around, and guess what? We're gonna break her evil little neck and take it from her, 'cause that's what you do in Minecraft. So yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna go off camera, double check that I have the dimensions correct, and then I will be right back. There was a creeper there a second ago. Toto, you... And don't worry, your wolves will not suicide into creepers just because you attack them. Creepers are like the only mob that they won't attack, I believe. I think ghasts, but whatever. Alright guys, so Toto and I completely tore down Mrs. Gulch's house, and we replaced it with these two stone brick platforms here. And these platforms are the pads where Mrs. Gulch is going to spawn. However, I placed torches on there because, like other hostile mobs, Mrs. Gulch cannot spawn if the light level is more than 7. And we don't want her to spawn until we're ready for her to spawn, because she'd probably try to kill me and my little dog too. So yeah. Oh yeah, and my friend the Tin Man made me some armor. So yeah. So I actually worked on this through the night and only encountered one hostile mob, and that was a creeper. And that's because I've been putting torches everywhere. One thing that's really important to do whenever you're going to make any type of hostile mob system is to light up as much of the area as possible, because there's a limit to how many hostile mobs can be spawned at once. I believe it's like 79. I think. Doesn't really matter. But the point is, if there's a bunch of mobs spawned, you know, in caves, or if it's at night and there's a bunch of mobs spawned on the surface, you're not going to have any hostile mobs spawning in your system. There just won't be room for Mrs. Gulch to spawn. And we don't want hostile mobs spawning out here. We want Mrs. Gulch spawning right in here so that we can steal her redstone and glowstone because she's evil. So, yeah. Alright, guys. So, we have the spawning pads laid out. But for Mrs. Gulch to spawn, it has to be dark. Because something as evil as Mrs. Gulch simply does not spawn if it is light out. So, and she is 2 meters tall, just like all the other humanoids. Yes, and she is a humanoid. She is not worthy of being called a human. So, she needs a roof that's 2 meters high to spawn. Now, I could just build walls around, build a roof up here, and then build walls for her to be able to spawn. But there's a problem with that. It turns out that having the blocks immediately above the spawning pads surrounded by only air blocks and being completely unobstructed, it turns out that that will actually make Mrs. Gulch spawn faster. It's weird. I guess she doesn't like spawning in enclosed spaces. So, all we have to do is, and I will just pillar jump up here like a noob to show you. All we have to do is build out away from the spawning pad at least 15 meters in each direction. So in other words, right here, the roof is right at the same point that the edge of the spawning pads are. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 meters in this direction, and then do that in all the other directions. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back when I'm finished. Alright guys, so now I have a roof completed, and it goes out from each edge 15 meters. So from right here, goes 15 meters out, and the same for the other sides. And man, that was a pain in the backside to build. Took quite a lot of stone too. I decided to use half slabs just to save on resources, and also because since I've used half slabs, I won't have to light up the top of the roof. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So now, once I knock out these torches and all the torches around, it will be completely dark in here. However, we have a problem. We want it to be completely dark in on these spawning pads. And that means no torches. But we do not want any witches to be able to spawn, any mobs to be able to spawn off of these pads, because any spawns that occur outside of these 2 pads are not gonna be witches. They're gonna be regular hostile mobs. And what's more, they won't be in our farm, so they'll just linger around. They won't get killed, and they'll take up precious mob cap, and we don't want that. So what do you do when you want to have it when you want to keep mobs from spawning without using light? Well, go to good old half slabs. Probably the one thing in the game that is completely foolproof at preventing mobs from spawning. The half slab. There are some mobs in the nether, zombie pigmen and ghasts, they can spawn at any light level, but they can't spawn on top of right side up half slabs. So what I'm going to do is the area under this roof, I'm just going to cover with half slabs. And as I said, I'm not just putting the half slabs on the ground like this, because that would obstruct air blocks that are on the level of it would obstruct air blocks that are on the same level as this dirt block here, and we don't want that. Out to like 20 blocks, ideally we want to have it completely be air, not even redstone or rails or anything, just air. And as I said, I'm not going to go into it, but that's going to make it make the mob spawning much more efficient. And even given these 2 tiny spawning pads, which is all we have to work with, we'll be able to get some pretty good witch spawning going. So I will see you guys when that is finished. And let me tell you, Toto's excited about this. I can just tell. He can't wait to see Mrs. Gulch get her neck broken. Which is what we're going to do. We're going to use fall damage to kill her. Drop her down like 30 meters and break her evil little neck. So, yeah. The Wizard of Oz would have been so much better if they'd had Dorothy be just a tad more evil, at least to the people who clearly deserved it. Oop, don't want that. Alright guys, I covered the area around, under the roof with half slabs so that we don't have to light it up, and we can still prevent mobs from spawning. Because we only want Mrs. Gulch to spawn, and Mrs. Gulch can only spawn on these two pads. If any spawns occur on these blocks out here, they won't be Mrs. Gulch. They will be zombies and skeletons and creepers. Oh my. So, covered with half slabs except for the water because hostile mobs can't spawn in water. So yeah, and because I've gone out 15 blocks in each direction with the roof, away from the edges of the spawning pads, once I knock these torches out, it will be completely dark. It will be absolutely pitch black on the spawning pads, and yeah, that will result in Mrs. Gulch spawning as often as possible. Alright. However, don't worry, she will not be able to spawn while I'm here because mobs cannot spawn if you're within 24 blocks of where they are trying to spawn. Oh yeah, look how dark it is. Let's see, check F3. So BL, that's block lighting. The RL is what we care about. That's the actual light level. So on this block, it is 0. When I get out to here, it starts to be 1. But right here, it's 0. No light at all. And that means once we get 24 meters away from these spawning pads, Mrs. Gulch is going to spawn. Alright guys, let's do it! So I've actually taken the time to mark out a point that is 24 meters away. Oh, she spawned. Look at that. She already spawned. Now, given how wonderfully the last encounter that Toto had with her went, I'm going to go ahead and make him sit. Let's go fight her. Hey, Mrs. Gulch. Uh-oh. I think this one up here saw me. Ooh, fall damage. Nice bonus. See, she's drinking a healing potion from that bottle. Take that. That's what you get for trying to hurt Toto. Here, let me pop that big zit you have. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's a slowness potion. Yeah, watch out for witches. They're a pretty dangerous mob. If I was on my first night, the last thing I want to encounter is a witch. I'd much rather encounter a creeper. Although Endermen are also pretty difficult to deal with. But then again, they're not hostile to you, so yeah. And look at that. 3 redstone and 2 glowstone. Awesome! That's why we're building this witch farm. Holy crap! So I was just going back home to get something, and 4 of them spawned at once. That's why we care about having all the air blocks on the level just above the spawning pads, because it really helps with what's called pack spawning, which is when a single mob spawns. The game is actually trying to spawn like 4 mobs. It's kind of complicated, but as I said, I'll leave a link to JL2579's video for those who really want to know. I went back home to get something, and I forgot to put torches back there. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8 Mrs. Gulches to deal with. I mean, it's bad enough when there's just one of her. Now what I'm going to do is x-ray this area. As you can see, I'm starting to set one up. And the reason I'm doing that is that I want to see what caves I have that aren't lit up yet, so that I can go light them up. because that will improve the spawning that I get from this witch farm. Uh-oh, she's gonna get me! Stay back! Stay back! Yeah, you just keep drinking your healing potion and I'll come slaughter you. Take that. That's what you get for trying to kill Toto. That's what you get. Oh, sweet. That's it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She got us with something. Oh, slowness. Oh, geez. Now I'm poisoned. Totally worth it. Oh yeah, I need to eat. Alright guys, so we've just confirmed that witches and only witches are in fact able to spawn on our spawning pad. However, we still haven't really made much of a witch farm yet. We're getting them to spawn, but we're missing that crucial ingredient of any mob farm, and that is a killing system. I mean, we can't. It's not an efficient farm if we have to stand out here and shoot at Mrs. Gulch with a bow and arrow all day. I mean, we have better things. We want this thing to be giving us glowstone and redstone while we're doing other things in the world. And so we need to make a killing system. So right now, what I'm going to do is use a pretty simple method to kill Mrs. Gulch. I'm just going to drop her down 30 meters so that she breaks her evil, twisted little neck in two. Yes, so, yeah. When it comes with witches, I find that fall damage really is the best thing to use to kill them. If you try to use other methods, it can be tricky because remember that witches will start drinking potions of healing when they get low on health. So, and also they have access to every potion in the game. And if you try to like kill them with lava, they'll drink a potion of fire resistance and then be immune to lava. So, yeah. So yeah, fall damage really is the best way. So I'm just going to dig a big hole that's 30 meters down. And the top of this first spawning pad is 64. Is it y equals 64? So I'm going to dig down until y equals 34. And unfortunately, that is lower than the level that our base was on. But, you know, whatever. It'll be fine. I guess I'll just have to have the collection area be a little bit lower down. I was just going back to empty some of the stuff that I was digging, and I just noticed this skeleton with chainmail armor. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I've lit up this area, so not many hostile mobs spawning around here, even at night. So, yeah. Alright guys, so my pickaxe is almost used up, so I'm going to repair it with this pickaxe, and it's going to give me an Efficiency 5 Unbreaking 3 Diamond Pickaxe. So this thing is awesome. Crap, I wanted to rename it. Ah well, who cares, whatever. So I think that this is a perfect time to do the Minecraft of the day. On the Minecraft wiki, on the same page where we had last episode's Minecraft of the day, you know, the page that's things not to do, and I will be providing a link. It says, don't use valuable tools to mine low-level blocks. And then it goes on to say, quote, using your diamond pickaxe to hack through the ground will save you no time at all and will notch the pickaxe for a little bit for each use. And yeah, there's several problems with that. First of all, no time at all, it'll actually save you a pretty good amount of time. I mean, diamond tools do mine blocks faster than wood, stone, or iron ones, so yeah, that's blatantly false. And okay, it's true, it will use up your pickaxe. Tools do have durability, so they don't last forever. And it says, you'll never save enough time to find, you know, to make up for the time you spent finding the diamonds, and I don't know whether that's true. However, the real issue that I have with the with that advice on the wiki is that what else are you gonna spend your diamonds for on, you know? I mean, there aren't exactly a whole lot of crafting recipes that use diamonds. Like the diamond tools, they're probably some of, you know, the best crafting recipes that diamonds are used in. Ooh, that just mines stuff quickly. Like, what else are you going to use your diamond pickaxe for than to cut through the ground? And that's why diamonds are so valuable, because you make a diamond pickaxe and it lasts a long time and saves you a lot of time because it cuts through the ground really easily. It makes doing things like digging out huge underground areas go much more quickly. It makes gathering cobblestone go much more quickly. It makes all that stuff go much more quickly. So what else are you going to use your diamond pickaxe for than to dig through the ground? And then it also says, never make a diamond axe. You know, for the same number of diamonds, you could make a diamond pickaxe and blah, 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 blah. Okay, whoa. We got to back up here. So why would you want a diamond axe over a diamond pickaxe? Well, maybe if you're trying to cut wood instead of cobblestone, then you'll want a diamond axe. And what it comes down to is, what do you need? What is it that you're trying to do, and what diamond crafting recipe will help you achieve that goal most efficiently? If you're trying to dig a huge area out underground like I am, I mean, this took quite a while to dig, even with a diamond pickaxe. Imagine how long it would take if I was using stone tools or something, or iron ones. If you're trying to gather a lot of wood, then by all means make a diamond axe, you know? If you're trying to gather a lot of sand so that you can make a large amount of glass, then make a diamond shovel. If you want to go on crazy adventures and explore dangerous caves, then make a diamond sword, you know, or maybe some diamond armor. If you just like the way diamond blocks look, let's see. Oh, need to go down 3 more. Then, I don't know, make some diamond blocks. You know, so yeah, this when I saw that, it made me think about what I've been doing, and you know how I said that I wasn't going to ever craft any diamond tools. I was just going to trade with villagers to get them, and I originally wanted to do that just to show that diamonds are a bit overrated. However, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I think that advice is wrong. I was being stupid by doing that. I mean, what else are diamonds good for rather than making tools? Okay, and yeah, they can make an enchantment table, but that doesn't wear out. So once you make an enchantment table, you're pretty much good. And yeah, maybe you'll want to make additional ones if you have multiple experience grinders that, you know, you want to be able to use conveniently. Alright guys, so I finished digging out this, I guess, column underneath the spawning pads. So it's a 30-meter drop from the top of the lowest spawning pad, and 30 meters is the minimum drop height that you need to guarantee that Mrs. Gulch will be killed. I mean, if it's like 29 or 28, she'll usually be killed, but if it's 30 meters, then she's guaranteed to break her evil little neck. So what I'm going to do is, once the redstone update hits, I'm going to have a whole bunch of hoppers. This entire floor is going to be covered with hoppers, and so Mrs. Gulch will fall off the platforms, she'll break her neck, and all her shit will spill out on the hoppers, and then the hoppers will put all the stuff in chests for us. So that's going to be cool. And you'll notice I have these wood boards right here. What these are for, and I'll explain shortly. We are, as you can see, below level 40. That means that if we are in a slime chunk, slimes will be able to spawn. And slimes can spawn in any light level in slime chunks below level 40. So that means that and also keep in mind that hoppers, mobs can spawn on them, even though hoppers are partially transparent, which is kind of weird, but whatever. So yeah. I used a tool called Slime Chunk Finder. It is not a mod. It is just an online applet where you enter the seed of your world, and then it will tell you where slime chunks are. Because the calculation that determines whether a chunk is a slime chunk is pretty simple. And Toto, you better not fall down there. And I'll be leaving a link to that in the description. So for the most part, this area is completely out of slime chunks, and we just avoided by the skin of our teeth having this be in a slime chunk. However, that little strip of wood is just barely in a slime chunk, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that. So yeah. Alright, so underneath these spawning pads we have a lethal drop that will kill Mrs. Gulch if she were to make the fall. However, Mrs. Gulch is not stupid. She's not just going to blindly walk off the edge of a platform when it's 30-meter drop. So we have to come up with a way of pushing Mrs. Gulch off of these spawning pads. One thing you could do is just line the edges of these blocks with trapdoors and have them open, because hostile mobs are not smart enough to realize that a trapdoor, and here I'll just briefly show what I'm talking about, that an open trapdoor is not a solid block. They treat open trapdoors, and crap, I did not mean to make a button, as solid blocks. And so they'll try to walk on them, and then they'll fall to their death. So yeah, if you just went like this and then had it open, Mrs. Gulch will think that this is like a closed trapdoor even though it's open, so she'll walk on it and fall down and die. And so yeah, that's one thing you could do. However, there's a problem with this. If you get more than 32 meters away from a hostile mob, it will stop wandering around. Uh-oh, I'm going to remove these before Toto takes a plunge. Okay. Wow. Toto, you come over here. You know what? Sit. Fuck. However, there's a problem. Hostile mobs will... Fuck. However, there's a problem with that. Fuck. However, we have a problem. If you get more than 32 meters away from a hostile mob, then, or any mob actually, then it will stop wandering around after 5 seconds. So that means if we are more than 32 meters away from this witch farm, then, and Mrs. Gulch spawns, then she'll have 5 seconds to walk off the edge. And if she doesn't, then she'll stop wandering around and she'll just stay here until she despawns. Because if you're more than 32 meters away from a hostile mob, it will have a chance of despawning each second, and I believe the half-life of a hostile mob is like 30 seconds, so that means after 30 seconds, a mob has a 50% chance of despawning. So that's going to really hurt the efficiency of our witch farm. Now we could just get this thing to work efficiently by just waiting right around that platform, but we don't want to have to be right here for this thing to work. I mean, hostile mobs can spawn on any block if you are within 128 meters of that block. That's a pretty long range. That means that this farm will be producing witches if we are within 128 meters. That's a really long range. Oops. Oh well. It's not as long as the range of our iron golem farm, but it's still pretty dang long. And we want to fully take advantage of that. So that means that we have to come up with a way of pushing Mrs. Gulch off the edge. A way that will work that does not require on her wandering off the edge. So yeah, let's go get our stuff back and then we'll talk about that. Alright, so I was able to, of course, get my stuff back no problem at all because, hey, I died right in my own backyard. I always like that when I die right in my own backyard as opposed to, being off somewhere in some random cave where you'll never get it back. That's good because I had this new pickaxe. It's really nice and I don't want to lose it. So, probably going to have to be careful not to wander in here. So, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yes, pushing Mrs. Gulch off the edge. If you have upside down half slabs and a mob is standing on them, and those half slabs get pushed by pistons, the mob will glitch through and fall down. So yeah, to demonstrate that, I actually think I'm going to go and create a world in creative mode. This is a creative mode world, and for those of you who don't know what creative mode is, it's basically God mode, and it's great for testing things out. I'm going to go with a super flat, and let's see. I'm going to go with the redstone ready preset. This will generate about 50 layers of sandstone, no internal structures or anything. It's great for testing things, so let's do it. So this is my world, and in creative mode you don't have to worry about health or hunger. You're basically invulnerable. Hostile mobs won't try to attack you, and yeah, you can fly and you have infinite resources. So obviously it'd be kind of boring to just play a game in creative because there's no challenge, but it's great for demonstrating stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a little structure that will demonstrate how this witch farm is going to work, and then I will see you when it is done. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm going to use these. Alright guys, so I've built a little contraption just to demonstrate what I was talking about. And you'll notice that this platform here consists of upside down half slabs. And you know that a half slab is upside down if when you stand on it, the y coordinate is an integer value. If it were not an integer value, then it's a right side up half slab. So let's get some spawn eggs for witches and test this out. Now note that this only works for mobs that have a 1x1 footprint. A mob such as a spider or iron golem it would not work on, and also it does not work on players. So when I push this, platform gets shifted and all the witches glitch through and fall to the ground. Also note that hostile mobs can spawn on upside down half slabs. Most of the half slabs we've used at this point have been right side up because we want to prevent mobs from spawning on them. But in this case, when we do the witch farm, we're going to be using upside down half slabs because we want the witches to spawn on them. Alright, I'll see. I just thought I'd demonstrate. This would be a good time to show you guys what creative mode is all about. So yeah, let's go back to our legit world where cheats are permanently disabled and there is no flying and none of this infinite resources bullcrap. So yeah, see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so I got the pistons in place. And now we have to wire them up. However, it gets a little bit tricky when we need to wire these up. The easiest way to wire them up would just be to put blocks here and then to just put redstone on top of the blocks like this. However, that's not ideal. The problem with doing that is, remember that I said earlier, and I'm not going to go into details why, but the level of blocks immediately above these spawning pads, in other words, all the blocks on the level of this block here, around here, to maximize spawning, all of those need to be air. And guess what? This redstone dust that's on top of here, it's not air. So when the game chooses a random point in each chunk and tries to spawn a pack of mobs around it, it will only try to spawn a pack of mobs if the random block that it chooses is an air block. Even something like a sign or a pressure plate or something like that will prevent the pack from spawning. Now, individual mobs can spawn on top of redstone dust or pressure plates, but that point can't be used as the center point for a pack of mobs. And getting rid of an air block, like having a redstone dust there, is going to be most harmful if the closer that I am to the spawning pad. So if I were more than 5 blocks away, then it's going to, it's not going to be nearly as bad as if I was right on, within 5 blocks of it. So we're going to have to do something else for the wiring. So I'm going to play around a bit, and then I'll meet you guys back here when I've decided how I'm going to wire these pistons up. See you in a bit. Alright guys, my frame rate just dropped to about 12, so you know what that means. What? Almost 3 stacks of iron blocks. I call that a successful collect. Alright guys, so off camera I figured out how I'm going to wire these pistons up, and what I decided to do is have these repeaters down here powering the block below the piston. And I like that way of wiring it up because it'll allow me to, you know, then have these half slabs at the level that they were, you know, covering it all up. And I don't know, I just like to keep redstone hidden. And also, oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm not going to have any redstone or repeaters, you know, at sort of this level obstructing air blocks, so I'm going to get a maximum spawning efficiency, or close to that. So yeah, to test this, we just need to provide power right here, and then it will power both pistons. However, there's a problem. If we use like a button, we need the pulse to be as short as possible. So what I'm going to do is make a pulse generator. This repeater will power this block right here, and the instant this block gets powered, both this repeater and the sticky piston under it will get powered. And when that happens, for a split second, there will be power coming from this repeater, but then the piston will push up immediately, and that will mean that this block is no longer being powered, so this repeater will no longer being powered. So you'll see, you'll just get a short pulse, which is what we want. Yep. So now all we have to do is set up a timer to periodically send a pulse right here, and that will cause this floor to periodically do the shifty thing, and Mrs. Gulch will glitch through and fall to her death, which is what we want because we're Dorothy and that's how we deal with problems. We make farms for our enemies. Yeah, something like that. So yeah. Alright, so I think off camera I'm going to go wire the top, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to get this timer going. So yeah. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention, this repeater is set to a delay that is 2 ticks higher than this repeater. This repeater is just set to the default 1 tick delay, which is the minimum you can have, and this one is set to 3 ticks delay. So right now it's 1, 2, 3. And the reason for that is that these pistons need at least 2 ticks before these pistons are done. These pistons need to be done pushing before these pistons can fire. So if they were to both be if there are only a 1 tick difference between these 2 repeaters, see, these pistons would when they try to push, these pistons would still be out. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So this one has to be at least 2 ticks after this one. So it'll just do a quick little shifty thing, and then Mrs. Gulch will glitch through. So, alright guys, well, I got this thing all wired up, and yeah, I even got a timer set up on it, which I'll show you momentarily. So I have these repeaters down here, and then I have the redstone wire running here, so I'll be able to completely cover this up with half slabs, which I like. And yeah, then it's connected to the other side. The signal will come to this level through right here. And I have the timer up on top, so yeah, then at the second level I have the same thing. And unfortunately I did have to obstruct a couple air blocks on each of the spawning floors, and that's to run the redstone signal down from the top. I believe 3 air blocks are obstructed, which is not ideal, but only 3 air blocks obstructed isn't the end of the world. And also I made sure that I was more than 5 meters away from the spawning pad. So more than 5 blocks out. If you obstruct an air block that's more than 5 blocks out, it's not going to be nearly as harmful as if you obstruct one that's less than 5 blocks out. And again, I'm not going to get into details about why that is. That's for JL 2579 to explain. But yeah, so this is the timer up here. There's this mall called the Powerhouse Mall that's near where I live, and it's hardly, you could hardly call it a mall, but you know. Yeah, I live in Vermont in a very tiny town, so don't exactly have a lot of malls. But there's this, anyway, there is this train, in the entranceway. There's, you know, a little toy train. There's always going around the track, and I used to love that thing. Like, I'd sit there and watch it for, minutes on minutes at a time, and my parents would get bored, standing there while I just watched the train. Sometimes they'd bring, office paperwork to do and whatnot, so. But yeah, so instead of doing something simple, I mean, I could have just made a simple repeater timer that didn't make any noise, and that's just, much simpler. But no, I said, hey, let's make a train. So, to finish this thing, I need to make something that I have never actually made before. I need to make a detector rail. Let's see. Yeah. So what a detector rail does is, I think, let's see, how do I do it? Is it like this? Is it whenever a train... Oh, no. Oh, I remember. I think you need a right, yeah, that's why I got the pressure plate. Okay, there. There we go. So a detector rail will send out a redstone pulse when a minecart moves over it. So let's see. See if we can do this before the minecart gets... Okay! This thing should be working. Oh, I heard something. Let's see if it works. Uh-oh. This one's stuck right here. Alright guys, so I fixed the issue I was having with the bottom floor here. I had a repeater, this repeater here, and I had it set to a pretty good delay because I want the bottom floor to do the hokey pokey after the top floor does. Because if Mrs. Gulch spawns on the top floor, then ideally, the top floor would do the hokey pokey, she'd fall through and land on the bottom floor just as it's about to do the hokey pokey. And so she'd be killed just as quickly as possible so she's not taking up precious mob cap. But it turned out that having the repeater on the long delay was lengthening the pulse, which is not what I wanted, so I made another one of those pulse generators down here. There's one up on the roof there, see that piston right up there? And yeah. So yeah, I just made another one down here. So yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to clean up this area and re-half slab all around here. A few things I forgot to mention. I put these rings of glass just all the way around where the floor is, and that will keep Mrs. Gulch from wandering off here and running around in our system somehow. So yeah, I mean, it's probably... No, I think it's necessary. And also, when the floor is... For the brief instant when the floor is shifted this way, it's outside of the witch hut, and therefore regular mobs would be able to spawn. And we only want Mrs. Gulch to spawn, so having these glass blocks here will make it so that nothing else can spawn. Well, I guess maybe... Yeah, it'll make it much less likely that anything else will spawn. Maybe a spider could. I don't know, maybe I'll replace these with solid blocks so that a spider could not spawn. Because a spider can only spawn in a 1 block high space if the roof is made of a transparent block, such as glass, so yeah, I don't know. If I start seeing spiders in the system, then maybe I'll fix it. Okay guys, got all the torches. Unfortunately, the repeaters do emit a little bit of light when they fire, but whatever. I'll figure out how to cover those up later on. I bet Mrs. Gulch will like her new home when she comes home and spawns here. I think she'll like it. Or maybe not. Right, come on, Toto. Let's get out of range so that Mrs. Gulch will spawn and we can see if how she likes her new home. 3 of them! Mrs. Gulch and 2 of her evil twins. Well, triplets, I guess, is the correct word. Sweet! Alright, this thing works awesome. Of course, it'll work even better once I light up more of the caves around here. That's usually the most time-consuming part of making any mob system. But then the thing is, once you light up the caves, you can make multiple mob systems and they'll all benefit from it. Alright guys, I tunneled in here. Oh, let's see what we got. And most of the items have would probably have despawned because it's been a while since I haven't been here at... Thing works. It works. Now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, and I have to make a proper way down here to collect the loot until we get the hoppers going. So yeah. Hey guys, so something weird has happened. The top spawning floor has just disappeared, and in its place we have all these mysterious invisible blocks that when I try to break, you see the stone particles, but I'm not able to break them, and it's very odd, and yeah, I just don't know. I've been trying to displace them with dirt, which is kind of working. Now my game's lagging. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I've figured out what the heck is going on. So yeah. Alright guys, so what I'm able to, by trying to place a block in the place of these mysterious invisible, I'm going to call them invisible bedrock blocks because I can't seem to mine them with a pickaxe or destroy them in any way. But I'm able to, you know, after trying a couple times, sort of place a block where they are. So yeah, I guess we'll just do that. And I'm hoping that they'll disappear once I get rid of all these blocks. Let's see. Yep, see, they disappear. Alright guys, so I went and I did some caving, lit up as many caves as possible. That's what all these little tunnels lead to. And yeah, this glowstone, I found an easier way of doing the X-ray. It's one that works a little better when you're underground. You simply take some glowstone or TNT, put your minecart under it, right-click, and voila. So I lit up quite a few caves. Haven't gotten to these ones yet, but it's made a difference. An interesting thing, I found that and yeah, we're right under the witch farm. That's the shifty platform up there. I also dug out the corridor that leads to it. I found an interesting thing. There still seem to be quite a few unlit caves, you know, near the witch farm, because I don't seem to be getting like any spawns while I'm over there, which suggests that, you know, I've hit the mob cap. Yet I find that when I'm over here in my hub, oh yeah, and there's a cave spider spawner like right next to this corridor. This isn't the double one, but it's just so conveniently located that I might use it anyway. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, then when I come over here for like 1 minute and I'll go back and the floor will be like completely littered with Mrs. Gulch's shit. So, you know, pretty cool. I guess that means that I've done more caving around here. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Just got to do more caving over by the witch farm. And the fact that I have to be kind of farther away from it for it to really work well at the moment, that's not going to be a problem once the redstone update hits. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this corridor right here. Yeah, see, look at this. We didn't get any witch spawns while we were here, but I get back and the floor is kind of littered now. So yeah, I guess I just got to do more caving over by this. But I don't know, my idea is that I'd have the witch farm in my room where my nether portal would be. I mean, that's my idea, and I think I'm sticking with it for now. And I'd have a bunch of Halloween themed stuff in that room or that area. I'd have an automatic pumpkin farm, of course, maybe a nether wart farm, and And of course, once I get some nether brick, I'll have that everywhere. The redstone update coming out, I'll just be able to cook netherrack for that, so that's cool. And yeah, I'm not going to light the portal, of course, until I get, until the redstone update comes, because I don't want to have any chunks generate without nether quartz in them, because, you know, it is right around the corner. Alright, so, yeah. I am tempted to run a snapshot, because I just can't wait any longer for the redstone update. And the snapshots right now seem pretty stable. And this farm has jammed. See those two golems in the tube there? They're actually up in the farm. They're just sort of glitched into the tube there. It's really weird. Like, see that? See how he snapped back? And I'm pretty sure that the only way that I'm going to get the two golems spawning in one of those farms at the same time is if part of it is in an unloaded chunk, which is quite likely to... And see, look, now there's a bunch of... Holy crap, did you see that? So when I was far away, there's a whole bunch of... What are you doing, Mrs. Gulch? There's a whole bunch of spawns. Yeah, I bet when I'm over here, you know, behind this line, of course, that I'm not too far away or too close for them to spawn. And now that I'm here, we're not going to see one, so yeah, probably a whole bunch of caves under here that still need to be covered. Alright, so I'm going to, of course, do some more caving off camera. I may try to do something with these golem farms to try to keep them from jamming. I don't know. It's one of the flaws with JL's golem farm design, is that they do jam occasionally, and it's not fun. Next time I may end up installing a snapshot. You know, I've seen other players do them, and they seem pretty stable at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. Decisions. Whew. And I'm probably going to have to have my nether portal room be much lower down, you know, so that it's like on the same level as the rest of the witch farm. So yeah. Okay, so next time I may be running a snapshot, and if that is the case, then I will I'll finish the witch farm. Put a bunch of hoppers in. Holy crap, look at this. We were gone for just like a 3-4 minutes or something, and and look at all this loot that we got. So this farm has pretty good range. I mean, it produces loot pretty quickly as long as you're within like 128 meters of it. So yeah, I like it. Once I get some hoppers here and it starts and none of the items are going to be despawning, it's going to be really good. So I'm excited. And I'll have the, you know, my portal room at this level, maybe a few blocks below this level, so that I can have the, you know, the little cage where Mrs. Gulch will be falling and dying, unlike a, you know, sort of up on a platform, just a bit. I don't know. And I mean, I don't want to have it up here, because then when I'm in there, I'm too close to Mrs. Gulch's house for her to be spawning up there. So yeah. Decisions. Okay, peace out. I've rambled enough.